Hello, thank you for joining me. I'm standing in the middle of a lake. You can see other people standing in the middle of the lake. I've never done a video like this before. I've never walked on water before, making a video or not, but as you can see, there is a path and people can literally walk across the water. This is the Keukenhof Gardens in Holland or the Netherlands. We are in the Holland part of the Netherlands before anyone says all of Holland or all of the Netherlands isn't all Holland. Anyway, this is the Keukenhof Gardens. It's a pretty amazing place. This path is really quite exciting. Look, there's just people walking in front of you across the lake. Okay, there is, that one's slightly raised. There is actually a bit of a stepping stone, but still, it's a bit of a surreal feeling walking across water. And I've obviously got to be very careful because one foot in the wrong place and you could end up fully in the water. That would probably make an interesting video, but I don't fancy getting wet because although the sun's out, it's a very sunny day, it's not actually that warm. There's a little dog there in the water. So as soon as we get back onto dry land, we'll go and explore part of this vast site. So just two more stepping stones. And here we are, we're now back onto terra firma. And we'll just walk through these crowds and we'll go and explore this place. Now this place is vast, it's huge. There's quite a few million flowers here, so we're not going to look at every single flower there is, but we can have a look around the site. Look at it, it's known for its tulips. And like I say, there's millions of them. It's really quite an amazing place. Looking back, that's where I was a moment ago, where I started the video on the lake. It's not just tulips, so you'll find all sorts of flowers here, daffodils, bluebells, cherry blossom. It's really quite an amazing place. I understand it goes back into the 15th century. This was the hunting ground of a nearby castle, which is on the other side of the road, and I think can be visited, but I'm not doing that today. A later castle was built, which was more like a stately home. Again, that's on the other side of the road. It was really in the 1950s, once a garden had been planned in the 18th century. In the 1950s, it became open as the Keukenhof Garden, or known as the Garden of Europe, where, like I say, there are literally millions and millions of tulips. There's also lots of water gardens, lots of different themed gardens. So I'm just going to walk around some of it, and it's going to be one of those videos where I'm going to discover it as I show it to you, and we're just going to see what I can see. That's possibly the least exciting plant here, a laurel. These are the sort of paths I really like. And now we've kind of come away from the crowds. It's just a really nice, gentle path. You've got the tulips sweeping around the corner, more water. There's lots of waterways here. Everywhere you look, you tend to find water gardens, and water gardens probably are some of my favourite form of garden. Whether it's a big lake or just a pond like that with a little stream. I saw one earlier on that was quite interesting. I mean, the whole place is quite interesting. So there really is, I mean, look at that, it's just flowers everywhere, really big tulips there. It's quite an amazing place. I think if we follow the lake down here underneath these beech trees, we'll come to where we can cross the lake, and then we'll go over the other side of the lake and find out what we can see. There's lots of shops around the place to get teas and coffees, although the queues are quite long. Almost when I first saw it, thought that was the queue going out onto the water, but that was just a bit of a novel, one of the more novel paths of the million or hundreds of paths they've got to show you the millions of different flowers they have here. Let's get through these people here. So over there is one of the many shops they have in the garden. There's also quite a few entrances. If you liked coaches, the coach park here, there's lots of different coaches. So we're going to cross the river here. Yeah, I can smell food. There's a big cafe. Like I say, this place is pretty vast, so there's lots of cafes. There's no form of transport I've seen to get you around. You could almost do with a miniature or narrow gauge railway to take you around the site, but there is no such thing here, so you do have to walk around it, and you want quite a lot of time to explore the site. There's a hornbeam tree here. My sort of more area of interest is more the trees themselves. We do like to walk through woodland areas, so I'm not so clued up on flowers. One thing I have noticed is see different tones of colours of green in the grass from the bits people walk on and the bits people don't. And then the bits people don't walk on gives you vistas like this, where you look across and you can see many different plants, flowers. It's really quite an amazing place. I'm going to go down here. Now this is one of the busier paths, so what I'm going to try and do is find one of the smaller paths, because as soon as you go off one of the main paths, it's really, you feel like you've almost got the place to yourself. But this, you can understand why everyone walks along here. Look at this sweeping part of the lake. It's really quite amazing. So I think probably the three main flowers they've got here. Where tulips is what Holland and the Netherlands, certainly the Holland areas of the Netherlands, is famous for. But there's also lots of daffodils. I'd say daffodils are probably the second most common, and then maybe bluebells or cherry blossom, although that said, since I started this video I don't recall seeing any bluebells, but there certainly is quite a lot of them here. And just everywhere you look, it's just sort of rows and vast rows of more plants. There's some, I thought they were red hot pokers, but they're not. And there's also pieces of modern art. Every now and then you'll come across bits of modern art. So there really is a lot of different, there we go, some white daffodils there. All very exciting. And again, more tulips. These are the, there you go, there's a really nice view there. You can just look into the trees and see the flowers. Where we started, it seems funny, if I'd come along here for the first time, I'd looked across there, I think, what on earth is going on? Well, I did actually. Why is there, how are people walking on the water? And then I went and found out for myself how you do that. It was quite an unusual way to start, or very unusual way to start a video. Now we're going to go down one of these paths here. So again, gets away from the crowded areas where we can really enjoy. Try and sort of stop and have a look at some of the flowers a bit more closely, because I appreciate I've sort of rushed past some of the flowers, but there's just so many people about. There's another little pond coming up. Look at this. You get really, it's almost quite artistic the way they've planted the flowers to show you different rows of flowers. And then here's one of the ponds. I don't know how many ponds and waterways there are here, but there's a lot as well. Not as many as there is flowers. Oh look, these are nice. There you go. There's a fountain. Feels a bit cooler now under the tree. Oh, there's like another waterway going off over there. I'm going to follow that and see where that goes. There was also some stepping stones across one of them, but there was quite a lot of people waiting, and I kind of, to get that on camera, it just is not going to quite really work. But look at that. There's a nice. I've seen lots of canals since I've been here in the Netherlands. This is probably the only video I'm going to make on this trip. I might make others, I don't know, but I'm probably only going to make this one. But I've seen lots and lots of canals everywhere I go. That's what the Netherlands is known for, canals and tulips and cheese. I was in Alkmaar yesterday and I went to the cheese market. Oh, look at this, it's a nice. There are some bluebells and daffodils, and the way they're planted, you know, it's, people really think about how to plant them to make these vistas. Look at that, it's bluebells flanking some, I'm not too sure what the flower is in the middle. Here's one of my other not so favourite plants, rhododendrons. Rhododendrons can look really nice in May, but the rest of the time they are really just an invasive plant. We were down there a moment ago, so we've come up here. So another thing about this is everyone says Holland is flat. Well, this is not flat. Okay, this has been landscaped, so I imagine the area would naturally be flat. So although we've come up a fair bit of a hill, I don't think this is a natural hill. But the Netherlands, this part of Holland is flat. If you go to, say, the Maastricht area, you'll start to see hills. It's a bit like Chiltern Hills because you're inland quite a long way. You know, that's one of the bits of modern art. But here we are, we're very much up a hill. And we're coming to a viewpoint looking out across the main lake. So we'll stop and have a look at that. And then we'll head sort of down into the wooded areas of the garden and just see what we can see. So there you go, there's a really nice view across the lake. People do come all over the world to see these gardens. I think there's just about people here from every nationality. It was quite interesting. I said if you liked coaches, not really that into coaches, but I was noticing the different registrations and on the cars as I walked through the car park. So many different. I almost thought I should have a list of European countries and you could sort of tick off which registrations you've seen. Some really nice sea of white tulips there. I'll just go through here. I'm kind of picking out this video as I go. I'm just sort of looking for the least that path there looks really nice, but again it's quite crowded. This one that's flanked with rhododendrons isn't so crowded, but then I don't know how many people there are here, but there's a lot of people. But it's really worth coming to. It's really somewhere, you know, everyone should visit at least once. Oh yeah, this looks exciting. There's a some sort of strange piece of modern art there. It's like almost like a cave, and you can go down these paths here, which give you more the woodland walk feel. See, there's just bark chippings. So if you were to come here other times of the year, you wouldn't necessarily see as many flowers. I can imagine it being quite nice here in the autumn, but it would be quite different to what I'm seeing today. There you go. It's like a cage. I almost expect to see like monkeys or something in it, but I don't think there's any animals here. I didn't even see any fish although they're probably a bit scared where people were walking across the water, but I didn't see any fish in that area, so I'm not too sure if there's any animals, but apart from birds, obviously you can probably hear the tweeting of the birds. We're going to go round to, so here you've sort of gone into the woods and suddenly you come across, there's like another shop and cafe. I'm going to have to find one to get a coffee later on where it's not too busy. I want to finish up at one of the gardens that I saw earlier, which I particularly like. Now, like I said, this video is only covering a small area of these gardens because they're just so vast. I just wanted to, give you a flavour of what's going on here. And like I say, it really is very, very vast. Lots of people. So it's probably not the easiest place to make a video. I do a bit of dodging of people, but I'm really enjoying being here. Sorry if you think I'm rushing the video a bit. I just really want to give you the idea. Yeah, there's another nice scene. I'm trying to find my way back to a garden I saw earlier, another water garden, which I did particularly like. This is sort of the path that goes around the edge. So the original castle isn't too far. I can just hear a road over there. Ah, yeah, this is it. There's a little viewpoint. Go down here. There's the garden I want to get to, and there's a viewpoint. So what we'll do, we'll go and look at that garden, and then we can finish the video up there at that viewpoint. So, let's go up this little path, up and down here, because I like these paths. They're quite exciting. And when we get to down here, you can see there's a bit of a boardwalk. But we'll come to that in a minute. The reason I'm taking you up here, and we'll finish up at that viewpoint. There's another one of the water gardens. Now, how do I get to it? Oh, it's over there, yeah. That I particularly liked, and I just wanted to end the video with that. We're going to go up that little path just there. We go up here. There's ferns growing here. So again, another form of plant. There must be a few thousand different plants here, let alone flowers. Now, just there you can see like a tray of water. If you look, that tray of water runs to there, drops down, and once again I'm standing on water, kind of. The tray of water, it flows to there, water goes down, it goes off and into the bushes that way, and then you'll see it drops down another one and takes you to a waterfall over. It's very orientally styled now, and there's a really wobbly bridge. You can see people making the bridge wobble, and the water drops off that waterfall and into the pond here. So I'm on a boardwalk again now, and you can see just there, look, some people demonstrating. There's a small set of stepping stones. We're going to go round to that viewpoint up there. So this is one of the oriental gardens they have here. Oh look, there's a nice, we'll go across those stepping stones. There's a nice, stream coming down. This bit reminds me a bit of Grange in Staffordshire in England. That's really worth a visit if you haven't been there. There's some gardens a bit similar. So yeah, there we go. There's a stream, stepping stones, some steps, and then we'll get to that viewpoint. So if you'd like to come visit these gardens, I would allow yourself at least half a day, because there is literally so much to see here. But it's somewhere sort of everyone has to come once in their life. Now you look down there, that's where we were a moment ago. There's the wobbly bridge and the waterfall. You can hear a band playing in the distance. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and from the Keukenhof Gardens, goodbye.